In a fast-growing social media world, deciphering between the true, the authentic, and the honest individuals creating real disruptive changes in their industry has become very difficult. Many people are quick to flash the cars, the money, but very slow to give people the true wisdom they seek. This is why we started the Real Estate Disruptors, to bring you in front of real disruptors, changing not only the barriers in their industries, but doing it and impacting millions of lives. Welcome to the Disruptor Network.
First disruptor, founder and producer of the Disruptor Network, born and bred in the streets of Brooklyn, from a young athlete to becoming president of Home Qualified, a VP at Cardinal Financial, and a true mogul. Let me present to you the real estate disruptor himself, Ralph DiBugnara.
I think this is where I learned the most I ever learned in my life. This, the schoolyard in Brooklyn and in the schoolyard and just being in the schoolyard, whether you were playing sports or hanging out with your friends, I think this is where you really learned. This is where I learned how to fight. This is where I learned how to talk. This is where this is where my accent came from. This is where I learned how to curse too much. But it's where you learned how to survive. Brooklyn was the foundation of who I am today, and it'll always be that way. I'm nice as much as I possibly can, but at some point here, you had to kind of step up and be someone else, and you have to have that inside of you, I think there was no direct path to success from here, right? So you don't really know where you're going to work or who you're going to be and what it is, and you see all these people around here living, but you don't really know what they're doing or working. You just know you have to keep moving forward. Immediately, you learn at an early age that I got to make money. I got to work to make money. I got to work hard to make money. So I think when something like the pandemic hits, what I've learned more than anything is don't freeze. When you're in trouble on the street, don't freeze. When something happens in life, don't freeze. Keep moving forward. If you freeze, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. If I stood in one spot too long on the wrong block, that was a problem. When this happened, I think the first meeting I had with the staff was we can't stand still, right? We got to keep moving forward. And I think in life that's important. As long as you get up and go, and you don't let it stop you, then it may take longer, but you're going to get there.
This is my time. But am I ready? Am I working hard enough? Is my work having any real effect? I don't want to compromise who I am anymore. But if I don't, will I be misunderstood? I have no choice. I have to keep moving forward. One foot in front of the other. This isn't just about me. What are the footsteps of my legacy? Am I creating the right path for those who are following me? Or will I fail? Only time will tell, but quitting on our future is never an option. What's your legacy?
How important it is it right now in order to really understand the true entrepreneurs that people should really follow? Because everybody has cameras, everybody has cameras, you can go and watch vlogs all day on Instagram and stuff, but there's not a lot of people that are actual, really successful individuals that have put the time in to do it, you know what I mean? And someone like you that's actually built not only one company, but several companies, but been able to really reach success. And what is it that you think about entrepreneurship that people should notice in order for them to actually be able to follow the right people? Because a lot of people following the wrong ones.
There's field generals and there's tent generals, right? And a field general is somebody who's actually done it. They've done the work. They've done everything they had to do. A tent general is somebody who sits back in the tent and just creates strategies. But you can't be a good tent general until you were a field general first, right? And I think social media and everything else has created all these tent generals, right? It's use this strategy to make $1 million this year, or use this strategy to do this, and like there's no substance because they haven't actually done any of the work. So, you know, part of what we've done with our scholarship program, what we want to do is we want to institute change. So in institute change, we have to start educating people at a young age on how to invest in real estate and buy real estate the right way, but from a place that I've actually done it, and not from a place of, hey, there is no method there's no get-rich-quick scheme, in my opinion. Like, and I think that's what's getting lost in most of the translation of everything. I don't personally know anybody that's been successful in anything that hasn't put thousands of hours into it. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to work 4 or 5 hours a day and be a boss and be successful. You're going to work 15 hours a day. You know, Kobe Bryant didn't just take jump shots every single day. He had to make 1,000 jump shots every single day, which means he had to take 2,000 jump shots every single day. So, I think the substance comes from people who have done the work and continue to do the work every single day. I keep doing the work every single day. I grow because I do the work every single day. I put in 12 hours every single day at whatever I'm going to be doing, you know what I mean? So I think that's the biggest problem. We need more field generals before we have all these strategists that are telling us how to get rich, but they haven't really done the work. And even some of the people who have done the work are now selling these systems on how you do it. But the truth of the matter is, in those systems, they're not telling them, look, you got to work. I worked 100 hours a week at this. Yep. You know what I mean? Jordan Belfort sells a straight line sales system, right? But Jordan Belfort did that for 100 hours every single week. That's how he perfected it. So you're never going to learn something and be good at it overnight. So I think that's what's got to come to itself. So we have to teach the youth young on how to do it, and then they have to put the real work in every single day. Like, you know, there's no such things as days off. You have to live it. Whatever you want to be great at, you have to live it, and that's the most important thing.
I think that's where the true inspiration lies, you know what I mean, for people that actually want to be successful. Because, like, for instance, what we have going on now with the Disruptor Network, and then just the show in general, you know what I mean, being able to highlight actual disruptors that have not only disrupted their industry, but disrupted what the norm is, you know, like not go and do the 9-to-5 thing or not any of these different things, but more like these people wanted to become entrepreneurs so they can, like, guide their life and gear their life. And because listen, I know, I mean, we know a lot of people talking about, like, they're life coaches or business coaches, and you're like, yeah, you're a business coach, but you haven't really built a real deal business, you know what I mean, to be able to do this, right? And even life coaches, like me, I know I'm only 24, but, like, walking across the country, being in meditation, and I'm like, I understand, like, what it means to, like, try to help people get out of their habits and stuff, because I've put myself in a month of walking by myself, right? So when I hear people say that they're life coaches, I'm like, yo, but what have you done to try to get yourself out of your demons, you know, out of things that you did in your life and your habits that you want to get out of? And so knowing that we're moving towards a direction that the show itself, the network itself, is all about being able to highlight the real people that have been having real success in order to be able to inspire other people to actually follow the correct people. You know what I mean? I think that that's one of the necessary steps that we have to take, just being leaders within the fields that we're in, whether it's real estate, mortgages, whether it's in production and stuff like that, in order to continue to uplift that next generation. The same way that we have the interns now and they're learning how to become great mortgage professionals and real estate professionals.
Racking my brain on how I could help. I kind of felt helpless, like I wasn't doing anything to help. I think protesting is effective. I just don't know if me protesting is the best use of my skills. Am I really helping people by protesting, or am I helping people by giving them access to things they didn't have access to? So then I thought, well, how do I give people access to things or build them up to my level? Well, to do that, I have to teach them. My idea was to give somebody an opportunity, because that's what most people just need. They just need an opportunity. You know, if I give somebody an opportunity and build them up, we need to create more leaders that are willing to build stuff up and not break stuff down. To be a good leader in this society, it's not about just leading the way. I think you have to be somebody who can reasonably see both sides of an argument and be willing to take the attacks that are going to come from that. So I'm trying to build leaders who can affect change. The idea is for the scholarship is to bring 3 people in for 3 months and teach them every aspect of the business that I'm doing. So to shadow me on days, to shadow my staff on my team on days, and just see what aspect of the business they like. And I'm going to be able to tell within 90 days what they're taking to or not taking to. At the end of those 90 days, they're going to be given an opportunity to get their real estate license, their mortgage license, or possibly go in a different direction in the organization, depending on what they do. But I really like them to be a licensed professional in this world. I'm going to pay for their licensing and hopefully set them off to next. And the idea for this is that this is the first class. I want to do 4 of these classes a year, and then just, you know, make this a new team, a new society, a new group of leaders that I'm growing.
It's almost like our duty in order to continue to give that content not only to them, but now to spread it out to a lot of people.
Yeah, they're right. That's our responsibility at this point now. The responsibility is to spread your knowledge. We're all teachers at the end of the day. We're all mentors at the end of the day. It's just what are you choosing to do with your knowledge, and are you choosing to share it? And I think that's what our mission has to be, is to choose to share what it is, because you have to learn from people of substance. You know what I mean? You know, I see all this stuff that people are making all this money, they're doing Forex and the Bitcoin and they're social media advisors, and listen, you know, you better be the best person in the world at that. You know, if you want to do that, great. You want to be a Forex trader, then be the best Forex trader in the whole entire world, and then we can have a conversation. But you should never go, you know, I think whatever you're great at, you can apply that greatness to anything, right? Like I was good at mortgages and real estate. What I learned in life is that I just had to take the same principles that I used to build that and go apply it to something else. But I wasn't gonna be good at something else right away, because I had to get through the speed bumps of it and the problems of it, and I had to work it out. But you gotta, most importantly, as long as you're willing to put in the time, you can be great at anything. I feel that within myself, that I can be great at anything as long as I put the time in, but that's everybody. I'm not unique from anybody else. I'm just willing to put the work in. Like, you just have to be willing to put the work in, and you really can be great at anything. What's one skill or want you have for yourself that you were failing at, that you think you weren't doing a good job at? Focus on that, because you can control that. Whether it's mental or it's knowledge or it's informational, that's something you can focus on right now. Focus on that one thing for as long as it takes you to get better at it. So when you finish this, you're better at that skill. And then hopefully you get better at that skill and you can go on to the next skill. But focus on one place you were failing. For me, it was my time management, where my mornings were great, I had my routines, but the rest of the day kind of got all over the place in my time management. So I'm focusing on being better at that and keeping a set schedule and doing things that are helping me, my business, and my network every single day. Feed the right fire. What we first have to do in scaling our business is understand what our value is. We have to almost place a monetary value on our hours and how much we're worth per hour. If we're working on stuff that's not making our money, or working on stuff that's wasting our time, we're heading in the wrong direction for our business, and we're not going to be able to lead people the right way. So the first thing you have to do in scaling your business is define what your worth is, what your value is. It was beautiful. The historic district is beautiful. It's all colonials and Victorians. That one was like, what was that, $324 they're asking? Had a pool in the backyard, 3 bedrooms. You can Airbnb for like between $280 and $350 a night.
Wow.
Because it's right in the historic downtown. So that like that price point, again, something on that, taxes $3,000 a year.
Wow.
So we're putting all the payment and stuff out. I have those guys building out the website for us, so you're gonna be able to pay for everything on our website through Stripe.
Okay, good.
So that's where that comes in handy with this. Like, just go to our website and drop a payment.
Perfect.
And then on that, it's gonna explain all of our properties, so somebody can come on there for instance, if we bought this property and the one in the historic district down here, and somebody come on, well, where do I want to stay if I go to Ocala? You have 2 options at least then, you know what I mean? So if they go look at our Airbnb profile, they can at least go look at our properties.
Got it, okay.
Trying to build it to scale, you know what I mean? We're starting, but I want to build it out to scale now, obviously.
Will you paint these in black too?
What'd you say?
Will you paint these black?
I don't know if I can paint that. I don't think you can. The one in the historic district, I probably would.
The amenities.
Yeah, that property makes a lot of sense. That property, I think, makes a lot of sense. It's just, I don't know what we can get for a rental. It's just that's the only issue with it. We came to a new area that we thought that was a good price point in for us as far as return on investment, what we're looking for price point. And we found a couple of new areas that we really like. Historic downtown Ocala. There's the New World Equestrian Center here. It's amazing. So 2 new areas that definitely could be future investments for us. So we're going to make an offer on one property. Hopefully we'll get it, and we'll be back. In life, you have to learn how to pivot with your survival skills and apply it to different places. So my survival skills that I would need here aren't the same as I need in the business world, but it's the same concept. Like, it's, you know, the same methods. I just got to use them in a different way.
So, it's funny coming out of the places that I came out of, you know, where you grew up in an environment where everybody's selling drugs, there's gangsters, there's a lot of violence. But the biggest thing is that there's no role models, you know, nobody that you necessarily want to follow. You're almost like stuck in this matrix and you're stuck in this maze, in this box where, because of redlining and a lot of other things, right, when you get down to the grits of it, where it was basically designed for you to not come out of, you know, so that you would not actually become successful. It creates these environments that almost are like jungles where people don't necessarily get the chance to get out unless they really fight as hard as possible to get out. That's why a lot of times people that come out of these environments always rep their hood for the rest of their life. I had so much anger as a kid, and the only way that I can actually release that anger was to come out to the court. So whether I was pissed off about something with school, I was pissed off with something with my family, I just started arguing with them, had to run out the house, whatever it was, I came right to the court. And I played in this court. It was rain, snow, 100 degrees. Doesn't matter, look at all the freaking holes that we got on the ground in this freaking park now too. But it didn't matter. I literally like played ball 24/7 as much as I could in order to get out of here. So to me, it means everything. It means everything. This court made me exactly who I am. Without that, I would literally be nothing. For me personally, basketball was how I was able to release my anger, you know what I mean, in a physical form. To be able to get on the court and put so much energy into it and have an opponent and let my ego rise for the moment and being able to take it over so I wouldn't have to showcase my ego any other place. And so, but music was now the therapeutics. You know, that's where I was able to really like deliver my soul, where I was really to release anger on a different scale, you know, write a story and put it in a poetic sense and being able to really like write my pain away.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
The common enemy, I hope you can see. I hope you see the difference between the plants and the trees. Recognizing life's a process that started off as a seed, growing into a abyss, now eventually it's serene. But it's in your mind to recognize that your power's divine and recognize your soul is buried inside. It's time for you to listen. That racism is simply the failure to pay attention. The tension inside your mind is forcing you to mention things that you learned as adolescents and lessons from people who were unconscious before their message. You gotta breathe. You gotta see the reason you're living before you leave. Gotta see all your people. Gotta see that the pain is the only thing we have equal. Not judging us by the color, but judging by how we treat you. Listen, use education, educating yourself and then bringing your meditation. Cause the information is hard, but you gotta face it. Especially learning about the enslavement and people bred in some cages. The pain to know is when you really reach your greatness. Knowing that we were kings and queens of powerful nations. That, but all the pyramids, everything we call sacred. History was the power, so they tried to erase it. We stuck in this matrix, it's true. You don't know your truth, don't even know the God you worship is right inside of you. I said it's right inside of you. It's time for us to learn. The first human was black, and so the black will return. I said the black will return. Assalamu alaikum, Malcolm, and your message was heard. Praise. In your own personal life, even if you're going through your 9 to 5, even if you're building your business, even if you don't even understand what you're doing right now in your life, there is a sign and there is something, there is an omen right in front of you that you're not noticing. The thing is that you are not in the state to be able to notice it, you know? Like people are always waiting for that moment to change, but change happens in a moment. Think about that. We're always waiting for a moment to change, right? But change happens in a moment. kids in the block. I hope you listening, man. But I know you got it because you were born a pharaoh, God of goddess. Gotta be your pilot, gotta be divine. I got a soul and find it, cause be in your eyes and know. Your teacher's supposed to teach you how to fish, not giving you every dish, then keeping you in the grip. That's manipulation. I truly believe that the reason why I manifest so many things is because I live my life in servitude. I'm here to spread love, happiness, and positivity, and then to use me and use my body as a vessel in order to spread change, love, positivity to everybody that I can, you know? And because I do that, I realize that I manifest so many things in my life because I'm not on a quest to get to a higher level for myself, you know? It's not about that. It's never been. And me walking across the country made me realize how you can't kill your ego, you know? It's a lot of people that talk about these things is false prophets, you know, because you can't, the ego's always going to exist. The only thing that you can learn how to do by being a conscious being and raising your own consciousness is to be able to harness and control your ego, you know, and actually being able to utilize it as a tool.
Have you ever felt like you were not the same? Passion in your brain is making you go insane. You enslaved by the mission, you've been engraved in some. Never get it at all because they were choosing the path that was given to them all. Instead of paving the way and becoming yourself, they focus on being somebody else and they teach a man that is wealth. But man, let me tell you the truth. I'm speaking to all of my people, man. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to all of my brothers that are locked up in jail. I'm speaking to all of the young ones that are destined to fail. I'm speaking to all of the women being raped that don't tell. I'm speaking to the suicidals that are trapped in a spell. I know that life is hard, but my brother, you got to believe that you can make it out if you just get the chance to receive all of the messages, the blessings, and all the lessons. I come to you in the pressure, your destiny, so pay attention. Your power is manifesting. My people, you gotta just grow. I went from being homeless to building my own studio. Don't follow money, your people, my people follow your heart. I started waking trap to really re-inspire your heart and show you that this world is meant for you and nobody else. That if you follow what you love, you start to fall in love with yourself. My beautiful people, this is my message to you.
That life is not happening to you, baby, it happens for you. Praise. I want to be able to be in my deathbed one day and be able to say that I did everything possible for humankind. And I truthfully believe that if we as people start to re-engineer our mind and our soul in the direction of being able to serve others and do everything possible for the evolution of humanity, I think that we will have so much more of a better place and a better life.